folks, how you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to this week's rather late, super duper late. I haven't done a podcast episode in like 2 weeks now. As I said, I said it on my Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, go ahead and sign up down below in the description. I am in the process of moving. As you can tell, I got some empty shelves in the back. I still haven't put away my PS5 and stuff because I still play. I'm not actually moving till next week, but we gotta get stuff. If you'd seen all the boxes that are right next to me, I have my mattress right up against the wall right here. It's a complete mess, man. And I'm in the process of moving, so that's one of the reasons why I haven't been putting out videos. I haven't been streaming that often, although I did stream a couple of days ago. So make sure to follow me on Twitch, where hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was talking with Jay, friend of the channel, and frequent visitor of the Discord, how Twitch is just a lot easier to monetize your content on, and it's so unfortunate because as much as I love doing scripted content, like, it's not the most profitable. It never actually has the most visibility, in a sense, which is kind of weird, to be honest. And on Twitch, since it's like the interaction is a lot more present, I feel like people kind of they just pop into Twitch streams, and like if they like you enough, they'll support you monetarily. Like, people can subscribe to you just right on the spot, and it's real money, rather than just waiting for me to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and bam, I can start monetizing my videos. But it is what it is. So make sure to follow me on Twitch if you vote with me, if you vote with my content. But it's been a minute, man. And I was I'm supposed to be working, not gonna lie, but work was super slow today, and I was like, hey man, I'm probably not gonna be able to film anything like until like 2 weeks. So I said, why don't I just sit down, do a podcast, something that can be quick and easy, but at the same time I'm gonna be putting in here a little bit of a first impression / review for Monster Hunter Rise, which I've been absolutely loving, man. It is, Jesus Christ, it's a great game, but I'll get into that a little bit more. Please make sure to follow the podcast. Listen to us on the go on Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere in any place that you can listen to podcasts. More than likely we'll be there. Just search for Search and Report. Our logo is a little Game Boy with the word Search and Report on it, and I can assure you that we are the only video game news podcast out there called Search and Report, because I do think that I'm kind of creative with my names, you know what I'm saying, with my branding. So it is what it is. Hold on, I gotta stop this real quick. All right, if there's ever a case of speak of the devil, that was the perfect example of it. But I completely forgot where I was. I don't even know what part of my intro I was in, but without further ado, man, you know what, I'm just gonna get straight into the first news item of this week, which is essentially gonna be just the basically the news of the last 2-3 weeks. This one was pretty sad, and I'm gonna start with the saddest of them all to kind of mellow out the episode as we go forward. But according to VGC News, there's going to be 2,200 digital-only games disappearing when PlayStation closes its PSP, Vita, and PS3 stores this summer. As you all know, PlayStation officially announced something that's been rumored for, I think it was rumored for like a week or so, or like half a week, before it was actually confirmed by PlayStation that they were taking down the PSP, Vita, and PS3 stores this summer. But in a recent analysis from VGC videogameschronicle.com, we finally got confirmation that yes, 2000 digital only games will disappear when these basically stores close out for good. Here VGC reports, although users will still be able to re-download their previous purchases for the foreseeable future, from July 2nd it will no longer be possible to buy games on the PS3 or PSP online marketplaces, and come August 27th the same will apply to the Vita too. Of the games to disappear from the formats, the vast majority are available on other platforms such as older PlayStation consoles or PC. However, around 138 games will essentially become lost forever once the stores close, their analysis suggests. So in total, damn. In total, there's gonna be here are the divisions, the classifications of the 2,200 digital only games. There's gonna be around 630 digital only Vita games disappearing, around 730 digital only PS3 PSN games, a small number of digital only PSP games, 293 PlayStation Minis, 336 PS2 classics, and around 260 PS1 classics, which were particularly on the PSP and Vita. I am quite upset about this. I've always been, of course, I'm a huge proponent of physical games. I always keep telling people, they always tell me like, oh, why you have so many, why you wait till like games get released physical only, man, blah blah. People kept telling me to buy Hades when it was only digital, and I was like, relax. Give it some time. Relax, please. Just be calm. If this game is as fire as people say, and as popular as people say, it's gonna be coming digital. I mean, it's gonna be coming in a physical version. And this is one of the reasons why I always choose physical over digital. I'm not saying I don't ever buy digital games. I've bought Ghost of Tsushima digital only. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 for digital only, but that's mostly because I got them, you know, I got them through deals and stuff. And I just really wanted to play them, and especially like single player games, I'll get digital only if I know that I'm only gonna play through them once and that's it. But man, this has brought up the conversation about game preservation back up recently. People have been saying that this is terrible for, you know, smaller game developers who might have these digital only games, specifically for the PlayStation 3 and the PSP and Vita consoles as their main, you know, source of income. A lot of like indie developers like to develop games for like older consoles because it's usually cheaper to develop for these types of platforms. Sometimes these games might have niche fan bases, and like this is also why I don't agree with console exclusivity. This is why I don't like exclusivity deals a lot. As you read, there are some games that are going to be now exclusive basically to Xbox and PC after they get taken down from the PlayStation Store. But I don't know, man. This just sucks. In general, this just sucks for the consumer, and this is something that I've been extremely tired of, specifically coming from Nintendo. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. Like it's my main console, the Switch, and this is something that and this is going to be a great segue to our next news item. March 31st was the last day, if you didn't know, that you could buy Mario 3D All-Stars digitally on the eShop. And it was also the last day that you could play Super Mario 35, which was a massive online battle royale type of game that Nintendo developed for the NSO users. And it was fun. It was a great game. I think it was a great idea, although it was stolen. I don't care what people say, that idea was stolen from the original creators. Don't at me, bro. It is what it is. I don't care what you say, but it's Yeah, I mean it's a little bit sad, but that's basically what people are now having to deal with. They're having to deal with marked up prices. They're having to deal with having to not necessarily pirate the games but emulate the games in order to play these types of games that have only been digital for the longest time, or that they've been taking off the digital storefronts. And it's a little bit sad. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks. It really does suck. But here for the next news item, which I'm already kind of touching upon, Super Mario 3D All-Star sales did spike though on their last week that they were going to be live. They spiked to 276% of sales, according to the UK box charts. Games Industry Biz reports here 9 of the top 10 best-selling video games in the UK last week were Nintendo Switch titles, which, Jesus Christ, man, the Nintendo Switch keeps killing it across all markets, man. It's incredible. It's incredible with the Switch being such an underpowered console in comparison to newer consoles such as the PS5. Just completely blows everything out of the water. It's amazing to me. It's crazy to me just how much the Switch has continued its reign. Here they further report the only exception was FIFA 21 at number 8, which returned to the top 10 after a 197% sales increase driven by some promotional activity. Retailers have been running Nintendo Switch game promotions, which is the reason for the platform's dominance this week. The best-selling game of the week was, unsurprisingly, which is a game that I'm going to be talking about later in this podcast episode, the new Switch exclusive Monster Hunter Rise. It is the second biggest launch for the franchise in UK history. The biggest was 2017's Monster Hunter World, which was released on PS4 and Xbox One back in 2017. Rise's launch sales are 43% lower than World, but when you factor in that this was just a single platform release, plus the absence of digital sales, the result looks pretty good. And I will say that this report is kind of wrong, because the Monster Hunter Rise is on its way to outsell World. It's on it. I think it's already outsold World. That's through the day of this episode. The closest competitor to Monster Hunter Rise was Super Mario 3D All-Stars. The collection of Mario games shot up 276% in sales week on week. The game was released to mark the 35th anniversary of the Super Mario franchise, and as a result is being discontinued from sale this week. Nintendo has been actively promoting the imminent delisting of the product, which has clearly boosted sales. And I am not a big fan of this. And yeah, man, it's perpetuating a very nasty. I hate when news websites, just as soon as you click on them, they just autoplay their videos. But it's highlighting a very bad business practice from the video game world. It's a little bit shady. It's a little bit shady way. It's a very shady way of selling games, in my opinion. Like creating scarcity of your games just to create value, increase the price, the perceived value of the game, because it's going to be out of stores, it's going to be out of shelves, is a very scummy move. I don't care what you say. Like, you want people to play your games, you want more people to have access to your games. Like, why would you take away that opportunity to grab people and come and play your games? Like, what's the reason behind it? Also, I just don't understand why you would take it off the eShop. I would understand you not selling physical copies anymore, because let's be honest, publishing or printing out physical copies costs money. You gotta print it, you gotta do the copies, you gotta buy cartridges, you gotta put on the information on that cartridge. You got to dip it in that nasty ass sauce or whatever you guys dip it on over there at Nintendo, you know, for kids to not swallow the cartridges. You got to print out art for the books, for the cases, for the books. You got to get a bunch of cases and actually fill them with the cartridges and stuff. Order these in bulk and mass produce them, and then actually shipping them out, whether that is from Asia down over here to the States or vice versa. I don't know. I think I think developers actually publish them over here. I'm sure there's companies that are just do that. That's their whole business, is just printing cartridges, Nintendo cartridges. But then you also got to transport them to retailers, etc., etc. Retailers got to put them up on shelves. They got to print out labels. They got to pay people to sell these games, etc., etc. So I understand why developers would stop producing physical copies. I understand it completely, 100%. Believe me, I understand it. But why would you delist? I can never say that word. E's and I's always fuck me up, man. As a non-native English speaker, they just fuck me up. Why would you delist digitally this game, the collection, the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? What is the reasoning? Why would you not want people to play your games? That's why, because I'm sure you guys put in as minimal as the effort was. I'm sure you all, Nintendo, put some effort into putting this collection together. Why would you go through the whole process of delisting it? What would you go through the whole process of creating the compilation, putting it out, creating a menu, creating the emulation for it, publishing it, promoting it, spending marketing dollars on it, just for you to take it down in like less than 7 months or 8 months since release? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, because believe me, there's gonna be people in come 6 months, a year, 2 years later who are barely getting their Switch, like newcomers. They're gonna say like, hey, I really want to play old games. Like, where are the old games? Where are the old games that, you know, you used to have, Nintendo, etc., etc.? So I just don't understand. I don't understand. People can say that it's a method of selling more copies, but at the same time, is it really? Because you're denying people in the future from buying the game. Isn't that counterproductive? You're taking money out of your pockets. Like, what's the reasoning? I just don't get it. It really frustrates me. I don't know why, but it just really frustrates me. But of course, on March 31st, that's when everything got delisted. For as far as Mario, that's when Mario's 35th anniversary celebration actually came to an end. And lo and behold, man, this is another reason why I believe that video games should be put under culture. It's a business, it's an industry, it's the biggest and most profitable industry, entertainment industry in the world. It surpasses movies, it surpasses music. So I understand why business reporters take on these topics on video games and publish stories. But man, Jesus Christ, there's so much context behind video games. There's a whole culture behind it. Like, you just can't put up someone who doesn't know anything about video games, or doesn't know anything about gaming, doesn't know the landscape, or like, even if the person doesn't know about that, like, just put someone who knows the list a little bit, so you don't put your reporters out and you know, have their asses handed to them, so to speak. But man, this had me laughing. This had me rolling, man. CNN reported Super Mario Bros. Fans are panicking over rumors that Mario is going to die. Bro, when I tell you that the internet, gaming, and all that stuff, anything that has to do with the internet and memes, that has to be given to a culture reporter. All right, nobody actually thought that Mario was going to die. That is stupid. That is dumb. How, like, you perpetuate this idea that we just, gamers are dumb, which we are. We're kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I can only speak for myself. But come on, bro. Like, nobody actually thought Mario was gonna die. It was just, the context behind it is that it was gonna get delisted. But this was funny, man. This was funny as hell, man. Here, CNN Business, again, shouldn't be business, should be culture, says, reports, new, grab the tissues. The internet is freaking out over a rumor about the possible impending death of Mario, the famous red-wearing, that is a terrible adjective to use, Italian plumber who changed the world of video games with the release of Super Mario Bros. 35 years ago. Let's back up. In September, the Super Mario Bros. Franchise celebrated its 35th anniversary with the launch of two remastered classic games, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is a collection, not so much just a game, and Super Mario Bros. 35 for the Switch console that would be available for a limited run until March 31st. Nintendo, which owns the franchise, also released other 35th anniversary Super Mario products that would be on sale through March 31st. Fans have been grappling to understand why sales of the new products will cease on Wednesday, a date many felt was arbitrary. Many have speculated that it may mean Mario's life will be ending too. Nobody said that, bro. Nobody said that. Mario dies tomorrow. I'm gonna miss him. One Twitter user said Tuesday, adding a sad face emoji at the end. Bro, Jesus Christ, CNN, just hire me. Like, I'll take over your culture segment on video games, and I'll report every single thing you put on my desk. Just pay me $500,000 a year, and I'll do it gladly. Okay, all right. Oh man, it's amazing, man. It's just amazing. This is just funny. It's funny to me how out of touch these business people are. Like, I always find finance reporting or finance reporters so out of touch, man. They just see money somewhere and they just want to report it. They just want to be the first ones there instead of doing their due diligence and researching about what's going on, why people are saying that Mario's gonna die. No, they just write. They just see there's money in it. They just see that there's clicks on it, and they'll click on it, which is good enough. But this was terrible. Shout out to that reporter. I'm sorry, y'all, but that made you look bad, baby girl. I'm sorry. That was just funny to me, man. But okay, Jesus. Moving on to our third news item of the week, we got confirmation from the finessers themselves, the data gods, the number one hacking organization out there in the world. Shout out E3, y'all done messed up. We haven't forgot that you were breached, your data was breached, and you basically doxed a bunch of people. But E3's 2021 digital show is going to be a free event for all attendees. There has been talk and rumors or speculation that E3 was gonna charge for you to actually access their virtual conference and actually watch the announcements and stuff, which in my opinion, I think is just completely stupid. Why would anyone pay for something that's going to be readily available as soon as it's announced? Do you think Nintendo, if they announce Breath of the Wild 2 on E3, they're not gonna have tweets already scheduled for that? Like, come on. E3, you gotta provide us some value. You gotta, when it was face-to-face conferences, at least, you had the opportunity to go out and there and like test demos. Had the opportunity to go out and interview people, interview developers and stuff. Like, you have access to these things. But with a digital event, man, like, that's going to be tough, especially when it's a conference. And a lot of these companies, they're publicly traded companies. They're not going to want to like not tell people what's going on. They want to let their shareholders and board of directors know what's going on. Like, these are huge promotional opportunities for these big video game companies. Like, do you think Nintendo's not going to be like, yo, you need to pay to like see when we're gonna release Metroid Prime 4? Like, no. They want that stuff all out there as soon as possible. So I'm glad E3 just scrapped that whole idea of them making a pay to attend digital event. I'm glad, man, because that was a dumbass idea. Sorry, y'all. But yes, it has been completely now and fully confirmed that E3 2021 will be a digital event. And yeah, it's just going to be free for you to attend. So I think, let me double check when the actual E3 event is gonna be. I don't think there's been a date set. I do not believe. Oh no, yeah. Okay, the event is gonna be June 12th through the 15th. Here E3 tweeted, "Welcome back. It's been hard waiting quietly as we got ready for today, but we are through to officially announce our plans for June 12th through the 15th. Blah blah blah." Oh, I love this. That the first reply is, "Will you dox thousands of attendees again, or will you allow games with gambling mechanics to be sold to kids?" I mean, the latter. I don't think E3 has a control over that, but the other thing is kind of sucks, yo. But yeah, you know, we got people like Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America's director. I don't know his actual title. His president at Nintendo of America, tweeting out, "It's going to be great to get the video game industry back together with our fans this June. We'll make the virtual format fun and engaging. Looking forward to seeing you all in June." It's gonna be fun, man. And knowing that Nintendo is gonna be one of the big players out there, I think one of the only like big console makers that are not going to be on E3 this year, I think, is Sony. I think Sony's not participating, but it's great to see Nintendo being on E3. As much as I hate E3, I don't think it's a great business model. I don't think there's anything that they bring to the table as far as E3 goes anymore. Like, everything's digital now. Like, I don't know. They have some work to do out there at ESA, but that brings me hope. It brings me hope, and my little child brain, my little kid who can't stop getting hyped about these games, even though I'm about to be 30 next year. Jesus Christ, man, I'm getting old as a motherfucker. Can't help but speculate, man. There's gonna be huge surprises from Nintendo this E3. The biggest one, as we all know, in 2019, Nintendo won E3 by announcing and releasing Breath of the Wild. Well, announcing Breath of the Wild 2 and releasing a teaser trailer for it, which to this day I think is one of the best teaser trailers that's ever been created by I am extremely biased. But yes, June 12th through the 15th, please be out in the lookout as we get closer to that date for new announcements. It's all going to be free. Don't let anyone scam you out of your money. If somebody tells you, "Hey, I got tickets for E3," report them to the authorities. I would say that if I was a snitch. But I'm just going to say block them and just move on. All right? That's it. E3 is going to be free. So June 12th, June 12th and the 15th. Damn, bro, what the fuck is going on with my voice today? Be on the lookout for that and put it on your calendars. You know what I'm saying? Now, for what I really want to talk about, we got sales figures. First of all, we got sales figures on Monster Hunter Rise. Officially, a press release from Capcom IR Investor Relations says Capcom today announced that Monster Hunter Rise for Nintendo Switch has shipped 5 million units worldwide. That is incredible, man. That is a lot of units, man. The Monster Hunter series consists. I mean, we're not gonna go with that, but whatever. Let's see. Blah blah blah. The game was developed with Capcom's proprietary RE engine in order to provide a new accessible Monster Hunter experience that can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere, and with anyone. In addition to new monsters and locales, the game provides a completely fresh take on the hunting experience through a host of new exhilarating hunting actions made possible with the Wirebug, which, shout out the Wirebug, man. That's the MVP of Monster Hunter Rise. The title garnered critical acclaim following the release of 2 demos featuring both local and online cooperative play prior to launch, with resulting shipments exceeding 5 million units 1 week since release. It's only been 1 week since the game's been released. I think this week is gonna be its second week, if I'm not mistaken. but it's gonna be it looks like it's doing great, and I can see why it's doing great. Additionally, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, a new role-playing game that will feature elements that can link with Monster Hunter Rise, is scheduled for release on July 9, 2021. What is more, Capcom will roll out a wide variety of initiatives that go beyond the scope of games to continue increasing brand value. These include the series' first Hollywood film adaptation, Monster Hunter, which sucks. I don't care what people say. I think it's a pretty bad film adaptation. But yes, 5 million units so far for Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. It is deserving, man. It is completely and utterly deserving. Monster Hunter Rise. Let me go through a little bit of history with Monster Hunter Rise. By the way, this is the section that I'm going to be doing the first impression / review for Monster Hunter Rise. So you're getting a 2-for-1. You're getting a value. I'm giving you more value than E3 has ever given you value, which I'll cut up and like make this into a review of its own, a review video of its own. So my history with Monster Hunter wasn't that good. My first walk through the Monster Hunter series was with Monster Hunter World, and I only got through it because I saw just how many of my friends were playing it. And although I was very interested in the story, very interested in the combat, I just could never get behind it, man. I feel that the learning curve for this game, for this series, was extremely steep. First of all, they put you, when you first started Monster Hunter World, you were giving the options to choose any and all weapons. There's a multitude of weapons that you can choose. There's lances, there's sword and shield, there's a type of gun, there's long swords, there's just hammers, axes, switch axes, just a bunch of different ways that you can play this game and you can fight monsters in this game. But there was the tutorial, it was probably me. I'm not the best tutorial follower in the world, but after like 10 to 15 hours of Monster Hunter World, I just could not get behind it, man. Like there was a point where I was just like, I just reached a wall. I was like, I can't advance anymore. Like, I don't know what I have to do to get stronger. I've upgraded my armor, I've upgraded my weapons. I don't know what to do anymore. But Monster Hunter Rise completely swept all of that under the rug and said, you know what, let's try this again. Let's approach onboarding in a more completely different way. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what Capcom did. Monster Hunter Rise starts out with, the story. Monster Hunter games are not known for their story. It's really, the story, you can have it or you can't, and it'll be the same game at the end. Like that, to me, I really don't care about the story. But the story, if you must know, the story is, there's basically, you live in a village, Kimura Village, and the threat of a rampage happening is coming closer and closer. You hear about these big monsters that are rampaging through the world, and they're coming straight for you and your village, and you have to stop them. And that's when like the problems start arising. That's when you find out about these humongous and great and epic monsters that are apparently eating each other, that are apparently trying to attack the village, and you just got to stop them with the help of everybody in the village. But yes, this is where Monster Hunter deviates from the classic Monster Hunter formula. This game is a lot better at putting you straight into the action. As soon as you first start, you're already fighting monsters. You're already being put out there on the world. You're already out there being put out on training areas. You're already giving a Palico and a Palamute, which I'll go further into detail about it, which are basically just your sidekicks or your companions, and you're basically just given all the tools to succeed way before you even start the game. And this is something that I thought I would hate. I honestly thought I would hate, because I'm a huge fan of games such as Breath of the Wild that put you out into the world, into the mean, huge, barren world, and they're not shy about killing you. They'll kill you on the first sight. It's, yo, where you from? Bam, kill you right there. Monster Hunter isn't like that. Monster Hunter gives you all the tools to succeed before you even fight your first monster, and I appreciated that. I appreciate it because it doesn't talk down to you it's not a game that says, hey, you're dumb, we're gonna give you all the tools because you need to succeed to enjoy the game. No, it's not like that. They give you all the tools, but they do put you out into the world, and they kind of let you just kind of, yo, you have everything, just fight, just figure it out. And it's fun. It's fun. I at first, when I was playing Monster Hunter World, I used to be a hammer main. I love hammers. I don't know why. I'm always attracted to heavy weapons. I like heavy weapons. I like being heavies. On whenever you like play MOBAs, I'm always a heavy. I'm always playing tank and stuff. I don't know why, man. I just like the slow pace. I like the slow pace of a tank, of a heavy. I don't know. I think they enjoy life a lot more. But as soon as I started playing Monster Hunter Rise, I quickly learned that there's new features in the game that give you way more mobility. So that's great for me as a heavy. That's great for me as a hammer main. That's great for me as a longsword main. Which, by the way, man, shout out to the longsword. I think it is the best weapon in the game. It's a well balanced weapon. It has great damage. It has great mobility, and plus, besides all that, you have access to new features. New features being palicos, which we already know about the palicos from Monster Hunter World, but you also have palamutes, which are the doggies. The doggies in this game work as sidekicks, but they also help you traverse the arena, so to speak, a lot faster. You can mount them. And also, when you're riding your palamutes, you're not only just limited to riding the palamute, you are also given the ability to sharpen your weapon. You get given the ability to heal. You're given the ability to attack. You're given the ability to climb walls. You're basically giving any and all the tools that you already have on foot, but with a mount. And that completely changed the game. You can say that it makes the game easier, but believe me, it comes in clutch. When you're fighting a big boss that can one hit you, that can destroy you on just one hit. Shout out to Magnamallow, man, that motherfucker's scary, and that he can kill you in one hit. But having the ability to mount your palamute and start sharpening your weapon while you're evading attacks, it just adds, it doesn't take away from the experience. It adds a layer of excitement. It adds a layer of just emotion. Like you're just on the edge of your seat, like, damn, like I gotta sharpen my weapon real quick. I gotta drink some potions real quick. I gotta drink an antidote because I'm falling asleep. Apparently you fall asleep in this game. But it adds so much, something so little that can be deemed as a handicap, that can be deemed as a, well, not handicap, but it can be deemed as something unfair given to your advantage to make the game easier. Is not. It just adds to the game experience so much, and it just feels so refreshing, and it feels so fast paced. It's just, I love it. I love it. I love the customization that you can give, you know, besides your character. You can get customize your palico, which is the cat, and you can customize the palamute, which is the dog. And it's fun. It's great. It's amazing. I never saw Monster Hunter as a quirky game. I played World, but I always felt like a very charming game. But it never felt as a game with a lot of character. But Monster Hunter Rise like made me dwell deep into the different mechanics of the game of Monster Hunter, that it made me appreciate just how charismatic this game is. Your sidekicks are charismatic. The cats that, sorry, I'm gonna call them cats, I know it's not the right term, but that cook the food for you. It's such a great franchise, and I'm upset with myself for not being open to more of these games, to looters, to just these types of games, these quest games, and you know, games that you can play with up to 3 other people, and like just going on hunts. It's just fun. And I'm upset with myself that I didn't give myself that opportunity with Monster Hunter World to really dive myself into it. But Monster Hunter Rise made that a lot easier for me, because I'm a very impatient person, but with the ability to mount your palamute and traverse the world, with the ability of using wire bugs, which had me feeling like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, it makes traversing the world so much more fun. It made exploration so much more fun. It gives you incentive to climb walls. It gives you incentive to if you see something up there, like it brought me back to the world, or to the state of mind that Breath of the Wild put me in. Like, if you see something shiny over there, you better go and explore it, because it's probably some treasure and you're probably gonna enjoy it, and you're probably gonna love what you're gonna find up there. The wire bugs gave me that. The wire bugs are kind of like they're wires, they're bugs that work as wires, that they'll bring you up, and then they shoot you up into the sky, or they shoot you forward, and also give you the ability to attack monsters in a different way, and in a more engaging and super fun and kind of anime way. I love using my wire bug with the longsword, man. That thing feels great whenever you hit a ZLX combination on a monster's head, and then you just like slash through them, and then you just turn around and put your sword away, and then just a bunch of different hits hit the monster. Oh, it makes me feel like Tanjiro. Shout out Tanjiro, one of the best anime protagonists out there. I don't care what y'all say. But yes, wire bugs, palamutes, such great additions to the game. It just added a whole new layer to this game that I just didn't think it had in the first place, which is exploration. Exploration is great. It's great in this game. Multiplayer on this game, I will say, is ace. I think is one of the best multiplayer experiences that you can get on the Nintendo Switch. As you all know, the Monster Hunter Rise demo was one of the first, or it was basically the test bench for Nintendo's new server system that they put in place, and it works great. I'm completely amazed with how little issues I've had with multiplayer in this game. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm playing on Nintendo Switch. Like, I'll talk later about the engine. I'll talk later about just the magic that the developers at Capcom put into place for this game to work. I'll talk about that later. But regardless of that, there's no lag, there's no stuttering, there's no drop frames, there's nothing, there's no connection issues. I've had one, and that was because of me. That was because I was very, very far away from the modem. But I've had zero, absolutely nothing when it comes to dropping connection during multiplayer matches. Multiplayer works very similarly to single player. You basically go out on these quests. They're called hub quests, and you can either host a lobby or you can join lobbies. And when you join lobbies, you can go to different quests, you know, with the people that you're on the lobby with. You can also send, or you can accept a hub quest with the join request, which means that you basically start the quest by yourself, and then people will join the quest later on while you're doing the quest, which is super fun. You know, it's very fun to be playing with like different people from around the world, and it's just amazing. It's just fun. It's like, wow, I like this idea of teaming up with strangers around the world and just going for it, you know, having the same objective, and it's all universal. Like, you don't have to tell people what to do, because in essence, like, even though you're playing together, you're kind of doing your own thing, but since it's the same objective, you're all reaching the same goal. There's not that issue that you run into multiplayer games of having to like tell people what to do. Like, if one of y'all mess up, you all mess up, and it's a fun experience, and I've enjoyed it so much. And I will say, man, shout out to the Monster Hunter community. You guys are some of the least toxic people out there. Jesus Christ, man. I was testing out how to capture a monster for the first time, because I didn't know how to capture monsters till literally yesterday. I'm recording this on the 8th, so the 7th, which is almost 2 weeks since its release. I didn't know how to capture monsters. I never learned how to do it in World. I just wasn't paying attention, I think. But like, if somebody you're playing with on multiplayer sees you put down a trap, they'll literally not try and kill the monster. They'll lure the monster into your trap, and then you tranquilize it, and then you both win. And it's just fun. It's great. It's so refreshing not having to fight people on the internet. So it's been super duper fun. One of my last bullet points that I have right here for this game is rampages. Rampages are basically this game's main story vehicle. Like, it's the main story drive. Rampages are basically protect protect your fort type of deal. I don't know how to explain this game mode. I know there's a technical term for it, but sorry, I'm not the best with words, and I'm running on a blank right here. By the way, this is one of my first ever non-scripted reviews, and I think I'm doing a great job, so I'm just gonna use words. I'm gonna improvise. Rampages, it basically consists of you setting up lines of defenses so you can defend the gates to your village from an oncoming rampage of monsters. And it combines both that, you setting up areas with weapons, setting up areas with balisters, with setting up with cannons, setting up with automated cannons, setting up bombs and stuff. It combines that with the Monster Hunter main play, like main focus type of gameplay, which is you actually slashing and dicing monsters. And I find that really, really fun. And I think this type of game mode would never work as well on World, because World didn't have as much mobility as Monster Hunter Rise does. And it's just great that you're able to like jump from platform to platform, from line of defense to line of defense with a wire bug so seamlessly. It makes traversing the world so much better, so much less frustrating. But believe me, it does not make the rampages any easier. They are so hard. They're so hard. I streamed on Monday, and believe me, I was losing my cool, man. I was playing with someone else and I was losing my cool. It gets intense. It gets pretty intense, but it is fun. It is fun. I will say the armor customization, everything and anything from this game is so charming. It's so unique. It just, every time I boot up Monster Hunter Rise, I feel good. I feel happy. I feel like, oh, this is gonna be great. Even if I lose all my hunts, even if I don't succeed at what I'm trying to do, I still have fun in the process. Like, even the fails feel so satisfying. I don't know what it is. I think the game just is very good at rewarding you every single step of the way. Whether the end goal is you capturing a part for the monster so you can get this type of armor, even if you fail at capturing that certain monster or whatever, you still get a reward at the end of that. Even after a mission fail, you still get a reward. So it's punishing, but it's never cruel. The gameplay is punishing, but it's never cruel, and I love that. I love that game. I feel that this game is going to surpass the 5 million units sold easily. If not, they already surpassed it. I'm sure they already surpassed it. But with the promise that there's going to be a constant update, there's going to be, which I'm imagining is going to be DLC, just as Iceborne was DLC for Monster Hunter World. I'm pretty sure it's going to be DLC for this game, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be added, a lot of added content, a lot of added quests, a lot of added monsters to this game. And shout out to Capcom for creating one of the best looking Switch games to date. This game is beautiful. It runs in the RE engine, which is an engine that was created by Capcom, and it runs great. Like, Jesus Christ, the stuff, you might be on a lobby with 4 people. You're all fighting this big ass monster, which is like 200 times your size, and there's no drop frames, there's no lag, there's no stuttering, there's nothing, man. There's no loading times between you fast traveling from one place, from one camp to the other. There's nothing, man. I seriously, I think the biggest load times is you booting up the Switch. From you booting up the Switch to capturing a monster or defeating a monster, the biggest load time is you booting up the actual hardware. I swear to God, it is one of the fastest loading games I've ever played on my Switch, and that is amazing. That speaks wonders of the team over at Capcom. They're doing some kind of magic, but it's working for them, and I commend them. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Monster Hunter Rise, I do not give out grades for these types of games because everything is subjective, but I will say, buy this game. Buy it right now. Buy it. You're losing time. You're losing precious hunting time if you don't get this game. So go and get Monster Hunter Rise. All right. How you like that for a unscripted review? You love it? I love it. All right. Now, for final news item of the week, I wanted to keep this one short. As you all know, I'm going to try and slash that review and make that its own video, but I wanted to keep this podcast a little bit short because I am in the process of moving and I still got a lot of stuff to put away. But our final news item of the week, we got a 2D fan game for Metroid Prime. And we already know what's going to happen to it. But I feel that this person deserves to get their praises. It's not something that happens that often, Nintendo fan games, because as we all know how Nintendo is, they'll slice your game in half and put you in jail and say, how dare you be a fan? How dare you appreciate our games? How dare you appreciate our work, our IPs? Support? We're not going to support you. We're going to try and sue you, even though you're probably living in a studio apartment and can barely afford it. I hope you're not. I really hope you're not, man, the developer of this game. But yeah, PC Gamer here reports Prime 2D is a gorgeous side-scrolling take on Metroid Prime, and it is playable now. Don't tell Nintendo, because they're going to take it down. The demo looks like a modern indie take on a Samus Saga. Here we got the video right here. All aspects of the demo are subject to change, but not be the final version. This was created on the NetMission engine. I can't speak. And it was developed by Team Skew. I will say this game looks pretty amazing, man. For a fan game, this looks like a full-on indie developed game, like not even like almost AAA. This is probably AA. It looks so good. It runs so well. I've seen a couple of people play it on stream, and it looks like, I mean, it's a fully animated 2D game. It's in, you know, it's a pixel game, but still it looks amazing. It is great. This obviously plays, I believe this plays through the story of Metroid Prime, you know, the 3D game. But look at this thing. If you're watching the video version over on our YouTube channel, YouTube/C/TrueFernie, just search for TrueFernie. It's just my channel, my YouTube channel. Man, like the animations look beautiful. The art style is amazing. The movement is super clean. The animations, I think I already said the animations. God, but man, look at this, man. The HUD, it's like, it's very true to Metroid art style. It's very true to. This looks like something that Nintendo would probably put out. Like, this looks like a straight up Nintendo developed game. It is amazing what this team did. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed, and I really want to check it out. But I don't think anybody says, oh no, never mind, there is a free demo. I might play it, and I might stream it on Twitch whenever I get all my setups over there in the new place, which probably going to be in like 2 or 3 weeks. But here, PC Gamer reports Metroid Prime was the first 3D Metroid game and is still considered a GameCube classic. Yes, it is, spawning 2 sequels and at least 1 fan attempt to port it to PC. But one team is taking a completely different tack. They're remaking Metroid Prime as a 2D platformer, in keeping with the style of classic NES and SNES Metroid games. Dubbed Prime 2D, it's the work of Team Skew, which has apparently been working on the project since 2004. Wow. Albeit with some personnel changes along the way, as well as the help of hundreds of volunteers. The team issued a free demo of the project late last week, and you can download it here if you're keen. Or you can just watch the video up. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stop right there. Naturally, a first-person game can't be perfectly transferred onto a 2D plane, and in a post from 2017, Team Skew explained that over the course of Prime 2D's development, over the course of Prime 2D's development, the scope has shifted dramatically. Rather than the pixel-perfect translation envisioned by our predecessors, we are taking a more targeted approach as a commentary on the shift from classic 2D to modern 3D gaming. Instead of copying the source material exactly, we're instead focused on taking the core concepts, translating those, and then implementing them in a logical 2D solution. By doing this, we allow ourselves to focus on building a game good first, and foremost, and then using that as a base on which to create a familiar experience, rather than constraining ourselves to trying to implement 3D ideas in 2D space. And I commend them, man. I commend them. This game looks amazing. It looks great. Like, I am still in shock and in awe with what they created. Obviously, this game's been in development for quite some time, and you can tell that they've been putting a lot of work throughout the years. But I am excited. I am excited to test this game out. I hope they don't take it down before Nintendo finds out, which obviously I'm sure they've been knowing about this since 2004. Nintendo has their ninjas. But hey, Nintendo, if you see this, like, literally just hire these guys. They've created such a great idea behind it, and oh my god, it looks great. It looks beautiful, and I hope Nintendo does not take it down before I can check this out. But if you want to check it out, the links in the description are down below. I believe it's only for PC, obviously, but it looks great. It reminds me of Metroid Fusion so much, but just with better graphics, smoother graphics, smoother animations, I should say. But yes, that is it. That is all the news. That is all the news for today. I didn't start out this podcast with what I've been playing, but I'll tell you here right now, everything and anything I've been playing is Monster Hunter Rise. Did I say that you should buy that game already? Because you should definitely buy that game already. I've also been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and funnily enough, I tweeted about this. This was very funny. I have funds on my PlayStation account. I had like $40 or something, and I was like, let me spend them, man. Like, I these $40 are just standing around my PlayStation 5. Just, there's no games for it. Like, I'm just literally just sitting around, and it's just there. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on it, which is a 3-year-old game now. Let me buy a game. Let me find out what I can buy. And I saw that PS Plus was only $60. And I was like, you know what? They've been putting out some good stuff on PS Plus. They put out Final Fantasy VII Remake on that pretty recently. They put out some of the Uncharted games. They're putting out Ratchet and Clank on it. I was like, and then they also have Persona 5, which is a game that I really wanted to check out. And I was like, all right, let's see. Like, maybe I'm going to put my funds to that, and I'll just pay like $20 to like make up the difference. Bro, when I tell you that the PlayStation Store has some of the worst UI ever, I'm not lying, man. They made me spend $60. They would not let me use funds in my wallet. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why PlayStation doesn't let you use all of your funds and then just pay the difference. Like, what is so hard about doing that, man? But in between, like, the whole confusion of trying to get that to work and trying to pay with my funds and then pay the difference, I accidentally clicked complete purchase without really paying attention, and I ended up paying $60 for the whole thing for a whole year. So I've been playing Persona 5. I've been playing Persona 5 on that. I've been playing some other games, some free games. There's that I don't even know what type of, I don't remember what it's called. Something All Stars. It's a game where you ride cars and you bump into each other and you kill everyone. I don't know. It's a PlayStation exclusive game, but it's all right. It's pretty mid. It's nothing fun. Nothing like super duper fun about it. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then PlayStation has to hurry up with its exclusives, man. They're taking their sweet ass time. And there's just been news right now that Deathloop has been delayed till September. So there's another game that I won't be playing on my PlayStation 5 till later this year. It's gonna be a year since I bought my PlayStation 5, and I've only played like 2 or 3 games on it, man. 2 or 3 exclusive PlayStation 5 games. But with that, folks, I've been True Fernie. This has been Search and Report. If you like this video, if you like this podcast, please make sure to like and subscribe the video version of this podcast up on my YouTube channel, which is just True Fernie. Just search for True Fernie on YouTube. Please make sure to like and subscribe the video. If you prefer to listen to this on the go, we are on Spotify. Just search for Search and Report and you'll find us. Our logo is a little Game Boy with the word search and report on it. Believe me, we're the only gaming news podcast that's called Search and Report because I'm just so fucking creative with the naming. Jesus, first I gotta get creative with the words coming out of my mouth. But yes, please make sure to follow me on all my socials down below. Make sure to follow me on Twitch where I stream. Well, not that often anymore because I'm in the process of moving, but I will be back late April. Hopefully by the last week of April, I'll have everything set up over there, and streams are going to be more consistent. They're going to be longer, hopefully. And yeah, also make sure to follow me on Twitter. Search for True Fernie. Link to my Twitter is down below, where I just yell into the void that is social media, but that's where I spend most of my time. Please make sure to join our Discord, where we talk gaming, where we talk memes, where we talk anything and everything that might interest you, a fellow nerd. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I love y'all. I'm sorry for the lack of content, but if I haven't said it for the 20th time now, I've been moving. I'll be in a new place soon, and my voice will stop cracking pretty soon. I assure you. I'm probably just dehydrated. Let me just drink some water. All right, folks, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.